Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is your man Thatch the Great checking in once again. Let's get straight to it, guys. All right, tonight, believe it or not, guys, I know most of the times I'm talking about serious topics. I'm either talking about intersectional dynamics or I'm talking about, you know, trending topics in the world, things that are going on in society. But there's many different layers to me, and tonight, what I want to do is I want to switch it up a little bit and let's actually have a sports show. Let's have a sports show and let's talk football specifically. Even more specifically, let's talk about quarterbacks, guys. Let's talk about who the most overrated quarterback is of all time. This is one of those topics. This is one of those conversations that always has a whole lot of differing opinions, and I'm sure that my opinion in this regard is probably going to shock some people, but everybody has their own measuring stick, their own litmus test, should I say, as far as what they evaluate a quarterback's career and what they evaluate a quarterback's success by, right? Now, ironically, as you guys can see, I just happen to be wearing the jersey of an extremely overrated quarterback. This is, in case you can't see, this is Trevor Lawrence of my Jags. A guy who was considered to be a generational talent coming out of high school and college. And in the NFL, I think it's very safe to say that he has been overwhelmingly disappointing thus far. But he still has the arm talent. He has all the potential in the world. It's just a matter of him getting it together mentally and tightening up on his errant throws that are still far too many for my liking. Extremely overrated, in my opinion. But obviously, I am still hoping for the best. I'm hoping that he actually does bring it all together this year, and he actually does put together a tremendous season. So I'm hoping Trevor does tighten it up this year. But with that being said, let's get back to the point of this particular video. Who is the most overrated quarterback of all time? I mean, there's many different quarterbacks to pick from in this particular regard. If I had to personally choose who I think is the absolute most overrated quarterback who has ever walked this planet, and this is going to shock some of you guys, but I would personally say, me personally, I think it's this guy right here, man. This is just me. Now, this is going to definitely ruffle some feathers. Some people are going to think I'm crazy, but no. If I had to guess, if I had to give you who I personally feel is the most overrated quarterback to ever step foot on a football field, I'm going to always go with this guy right here. Me personally. You don't have to agree, but this is just me. Let me pull him up, put him on the screen here. This mofo right here. Eli fucking Manning. In my opinion, now just hear me out here. In my opinion, there is not a more overrated quarterback on this planet than Eli Manning. I get it. People always want to throw out the fact that Eli got 2 rings. Yeah, that's true. He got 2 rings, but so what? So what? That's one more ring than Trent Dilfer got. You know what I mean? Like, there's been a whole lot of mediocre quarterbacks who have won Super Bowl rings. And Eli Manning, for the great majority of his career, was an absolute bomb. Now, he's a bomb who managed somehow to fluke his way to 2 Super Bowl victories, but he's a bomb nonetheless. Let's just look at these stats, man. Let's look at these damn stats. Bro, look at this. Now, let me blow this up a little bit on the screen, man. Let's look at 04. All right. Look at this. Second year in the league. 17 picks. Next year, 18 picks. Next year, 20 picks. Look at that. 2009, 14 picks. In 2010, the man had 25 interceptions. 16 interceptions. 2012, 15 interceptions. And what the fuck is going on in 2013 where he had 18 touchdowns and 27 interceptions? This man was trash. He was trash his entire career. I don't give a damn about him fluking his way to winning 2 Super Bowls. He was trash. He was trash. Absolute garbage. Suzio in all aspects. This is who I personally feel is the most overrated quarterback, because I think people just completely turn a blind eye to his lack of productivity on the football field. He had 2 really good teams, that got lucky and won in the Super Bowl. Now, of course, we all know who he beat in the Super Bowl, the 2 Super Bowls that he did with him. True enough, he beat the best quarterback of all time in the Super Bowl twice. And that is not to be ignored. I get it. I get it, guys. That is an exceptional feat that nobody can deny. But as far as Eli Manning himself as a quarterback, he was absolute garbage. He was absolute garbage. Look at this. Let's keep going. In 2016, the man had 16 picks, 13 picks in 17, 11 and 18, and then he barely played in 2019. Let me ask you guys a question, and I need you to be serious with yourself when you answer this. Looking at these stats on this list for Eli Manning, looking at his career, just his career stats, the man had 244 interceptions in his career. Absolutely horrendous. Does this look like the resume of a man who actually would belong in the Hall of Fame? Because that's another point of debate and another topic that you hear so often when it comes to Eli Manning is the fact that he should be a Hall of Famer somehow one day. No. Whatever happened to actually having to have exemplary stats in order to be a Hall of Famer? Whatever happened to actually having to be one of the best quarterbacks of your period in order to make it to the Hall of Fame? We can all agree that Eli Manning has never at any point in his career been considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league. If you actually say otherwise to that, then you simply do not watch football. You simply don't watch football if you think Eli Manning deserved to make the Hall of Fame. If anybody's out there who has a contradicting opinion to that, who thinks that Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, please comment. Or even better, if you want the link, I will drop the link so you can come on right now and give me your point of view on this matter. Or you could just let me know who you think is the most overrated quarterback, because that's what this is all about. If I had to choose, I'm going with Eli Manning every time. But who do y'all think is the most overrated quarterback of all time? Eli Manning is number 1 on my list, guys. Number 2, because, I got several. I have several. Let me go on to my next guy here. And I know y'all, this is going to ruffle some feathers too, but it is what it is. When you look at these stats, guys, when you look at the stats, shit starts getting real funny in the light when you start looking at some of these so-called Hall of Famers stats. Next up on my list, guys. I know this is going to make some of y'all mad, but it is what it is, bro. Well, let me pull up his stats. Next up on my list is this mofo, Troy Aikman, a guy who I grew up watching play football on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, in case you don't know, believe it or not, growing up, the Dallas Cowboys were my favorite football team to watch before we got the Jacksonville Jaguars here. And obviously Troy Aikman was heralded. But look at his stats, man. Look at these pedestrian numbers that Troy Aikman was putting up. Look at this shit. All right, in case you can't see it on your screen there. In case you can't see it on the screen here, Troy Aikman had 11 touchdowns he had 9 touchdowns and 18 picks his rookie year. 11 touchdowns. You heard that right. And 18 picks his second year. Third year, 11 touchdowns and 10 picks. Fourth year, 23 touchdowns and 14 picks. Wait a minute, let me go over. Let me go over. What year is this? Oh shit, this is the Super Bowl year. 1992. 23 touchdowns, 14 picks. The next Super Bowl year, 93, guys. You want to know how many touchdowns Troy Aikman had in 1993 when the Cowboys won their second Super Bowl in a row? 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Pedestrian statistics. Let's skip ahead to his next Super Bowl year, which would have been 1995, right? 16 touchdowns and 7 picks. This is a Hall of Famer we're talking about here, guys. Next year, 96. Oh, look at these eye-boggling stats. 12 touchdowns with 13 interceptions. 97, 19 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. I'm telling you guys, I understand it was a different era, but let's not let these guys off the hook with these absolutely mediocre statistics that they were putting up, and yet somehow they get heralded and held to these high levels of esteem as if they were somehow great players. They were extremely average players. This is my point here. Let me pull up another quarterback, man. I'm just going down the line here. And while we're at it, because this is something that I wanted to bring a spotlight to. You know how people always talk about the Manning family? They always make it seem like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, once again getting back to Eli's bum ass. They always make it seem like their father was such an unbelievable player. But when you pull up Archie Manning's bum ass stats from when he played, I'm telling you, when you pull up Archie Manning's bum ass stats, it makes you wonder, like, why was this bum ass nigga even a point of conversation to begin with? What? Look, let me pull up some stats in case you think that I'm bullshitting. One second. We're gonna pull up the split here, if they'll let me. All right, check this out. This is Archie. This is the late. This is the great Archie Manning, guys. The guy that they make it seem as if Peyton and Eli came from such great stock of talent. These are his stats back when he played, right? We're talking about Archie Manning. Now, these are his touchdown to interception ratios. Let's just start back in 1972. 18 touchdowns, 21 picks. 73, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks. 74, 6 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. 75, 7 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. You see a trend here? Archie Manning was trash. He sucked. A lot of these old timers fucking sucked. 78, 17 touchdowns to 16 picks. Oh, that believe it or not, that's one of his best years. That's one of his best years. Next year, 15 touchdowns, 20 picks. Next year, 23 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. I'm not even going to waste any more time talking about Archie Manning's bum ass. He was trash. Why is it that people hold him to this high level of esteem as if he was somehow a baller back in his day? He sucked. He has one son who was an absolute baller, and that's Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, I take nothing from. Peyton Manning was an outstanding quarterback. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.